Good morning, Acton, and welcome to Java with John, hosted by Town Manager John Mangiarotti. Java with John streams every Friday morning at 10 a.m. on Acton TV's YouTube channel. You can also listen live on the radio at 94.9 FM. Tune in weekly for important information from the Town Manager, Health Department, and Council on Aging, as well as a variety of special guests. Residents can contact us with questions or comments at 978-929-6611 or email manager@actonma.gov.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Java with John program. Hope you're tuning in on 94.9 AM or FM rather, or watching live on YouTube. We have a few guests this morning that we're going to get to very shortly. Actually, I'm going to introduce them now, and then I'm going to say a few words. So we'll hear from Sharon Mercurio, Council on Aging Director, Heather York, Director of Nursing, Detective Mike Aracchio from the Police Department, Deborah Garfield, from Elliott Mental Services, Health Services, and Paul Walsh from the Women's Club. And so here we are, Friday, the last day of April. I can't believe it's already May tomorrow or this weekend, so that's pretty exciting. And also very exciting is that we're going to be opening the doors to the public again, to Town Hall and some of our other buildings. As you all know, March 13th, Friday the 13th of March 2020, we shut everything down and sent everybody home, and all the staff came back, shortly afterwards, but the public hasn't been in Town Hall or other buildings since. So I'm really excited. I know a lot of staff are very excited to have people back. We're going to be very safe. We have stanchions set up in front of customer service windows to make sure people go in the right directions and stay 6 feet apart from each other. And we're really excited to interact with you all again in person. As you'll hear from Sharon, the Senior Center isn't going to be open the way the Senior Center was open. It's really just for customer service transactions and programming, things like that will be outside. And our other buildings will be run the same fashion, open for customer transactions, but not really for programming. But we have a whole host of events that we're holding outside this spring. So I look forward to seeing you hopefully soon. And why don't we start out with a public health update? Heather, do you have any good news for us, please?
Good morning, John. Good morning, everyone. So some good news, the numbers in Acton are going down. As of today, we've had 966 positive cases since the beginning of the pandemic. There's currently 16 residents in isolation. 907 have recovered from COVID-19, and sadly, 32 have passed away since the beginning of the pandemic. I'm not sure if we talked about last week, the Janssen & Janssen vaccine has been restarted by the CDC and the FDA. So that's good news. That's the one-dose vaccine for COVID-19. It is recommended, and there is a precaution with it now for anyone 50 and under, most especially females, as there is a rare clotting disorder with low platelet count after the vaccine is given. So that is something that you should take into consideration if you are a female anywhere from 18 to 50 and speak with your doctor about. So it's good to talk to your doctor about that to see if the risk outweighs the benefit of the vaccine. We are still getting a small amount of not only the Janssen & Janssen vaccine, but also Moderna vaccine for our homebound residents. So again, calling out to anyone who either knows someone in town who is not able to get out of their home to get a vaccine. We do still have a small amount of doses that we're happy to come out to your house and do those vaccinations. The number you can call to schedule those and to be placed on a list is either the nursing number 978-929-6650 or the hotline number 978-929. I'm not going to remember the number. I'll get back to you on that.
6600.
Thank you. Thanks. So you can call that and we can get you on a list for our homebound vaccinations. There is some new guidance that the governor came out with this week. We are moving forward out of phased 4, step 1, into phase 4, step 2, starting the week of May 10th. There's different venues that can be open, including outdoor stadiums, arenas, and ballparks. So at step 1, it was only a 12% capacity, and now it's up to 25% capacity. So that's good news. We're getting back to some normal. They will open also some different industries, including amusement parks, theme parks, and outdoor water parks at the same time at 50% capacity. Road races and other large outdoor organized amateur or professional group athletic events will be permitted to take place. There is a safety standard that has to be submitted to the local Board of Health or to the Department of Public Health, but that will also be May 10th. Youth and adult amateur sporting events will be allowed for moderate and high-risk sports. And then singing will also be permitted indoors with strict distancing requirements at performance venues, restaurants, event venues, and other businesses. So that's good news for folks that enjoy music in their off time. Effective May 29th, subject to public health and vaccination data, the gathering limits will increase to 200 people outdoors or 250 people indoors, 200 people indoors, 250 people outdoors for event venues in a public setting or private setting. And then also subject to public health and vaccination data, industries that will also be able to open as of May 29th are street festivals, parades, and agricultural festivals at a 50% capacity of their previous capacity limits, with submitting a plan of safety to the local Board of Health level. The last thing also would be bars, beer gardens, breweries, wineries, and distilleries, which will be subject to the restaurant rules with seated service only at a 90% limit and no dance floors. And then, you know, as we're moving forward, and we've been talking about this all year, we're getting to the point where we can hopefully get back to normal once the summer months have passed. Subject to public health and vaccination data, again, effective August 1st, some of the public remaining industries that will be permitted to open will include dance clubs, nightclubs, saunas, hot tubs, steam rooms at fitness centers, health clubs, and other facilities, indoor water parks, and then ball pits. And then all industry restrictions will be lifted at that time, as long as, again, vaccination and public health data warrants that. And that will be sort of a rolling date that they're using right now. It could change to something sooner if it is available to happen based on the data that they're seeing. And the only other positive thing that's going on is today, effective face covering order, which the governor hasn't put out the exact order yet, other than letting us know that face coverings will only be required outside in public when it is not possible to socially distance. And then at other times required by sector specific guidance. And that sector specific guidance is what we're waiting for. But this is all good news as we're moving forward and getting back to the things that we enjoy as much as we do, which I know that I will be glad to get back to a little bit of normal as time goes by. So I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Hopefully it's beautiful and you enjoy the weather. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. That was some good news, so we appreciate it. Sharon, what's new at the Senior Center?
Hi, John. Thank you. Good morning. As John said, starting Monday, May 3rd, our doors will actually be open. So we're open for services and that sort of thing. We're going to be getting a tent out in the parking lot so we can increase our outdoor activities. So that's really exciting. We actually have active aging, senior fitness, and yoga slated to happen later this month, and we're going to be doing signups via a lottery. So if that's something you're interested in, please either email or call the COA. We'll put your name in the lottery and we'll let you know when you get into class. We're continuing with a lot of our virtual programs. Acton TV is still showing several of our lectures and exercise classes. Monday, we're having a walking group at 9 o'clock. We walk the neighborhood with Terry. On Tuesday, we're having talk and tea with Paula and Bonnie Lavelle. It's just a social group that started as kind of a health and wellness class, and the ladies enjoyed meeting up each week so much on Zoom. They offered to take it over when the instructor was no longer available. So that continues. Wednesday, we have book discussion. Friday, we're going to be doing a drive-through lunch from Life Care of Acton. So it's going to be turkey and Swiss on a croissant with chips and a dessert. So if you're interested in signing up for that, please call the Senior Center. And then a couple of other things that are going on this month. We're going to be doing a walk through the Arboretum to see the lilacs in bloom. We're having our 90th birthday celebration drive-through style. So we're going to have an accordionist. We're going to have plants to give away to our 90-year-olds. They'll be able to pick up a nice meal to bring home for themselves and a loved one, and cupcakes, because who doesn't love cupcakes? So all of that will be in your newsletter, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you. We're getting an accordionist. That's exciting. Hopefully I can stop by and check that out. I know Detective Michael Reckler will want to check that out too. Mike, what else is happening?
Thank you. So AB Cares is a coalition group here in town that the police belong to. Basically, support system or network, community-based collaborative against suicide. So we come together from a lot of stakeholders in the community. Deb Garfield being from Elliott. Basically, we have a community program that is coming to our town. I'll have Deb introduce herself before we get into that too much.
Well, thank you, Mike. So I'm Deborah Garfield, and I'm the director of the Elliott Center, which is an outpatient mental health clinic. And we serve a lot of folks in the Acton-Boxborough area.
Thank you. So we're calling the initiative the Safer Home, Safer Community, Community Gun Buyback Program. And what that's going to entail is basically we realize, and AB Cares as a coalition have realized that oftentimes, people may pass on in your life, and, guns will, show up in your home, and sometimes people don't know what to do with them. And in the past, they brought them to the police station. We didn't necessarily have a place to take them or destroy them, is what typically the state police will do. So the sheriff's department, we had them come out and speak to us about the program, and they decided that they would join us and basically take over the gathering of the weapons and handing them to the state police for destruction. That's going to be hosted. I think we have a flyer that we'll present, hopefully showing up on the screen. That's going to be on Saturday, May 15th this year from 9 to 12. So 9 a.m. to 12 at St. Matthew's United Methodist Church. That's 435 Central Street in Acton. And what we're asking people to do is, place your firearms in the trunk. And in lieu of that, you'll get I believe we have some gift cards from different places in town that you'll get for exchange of different things, firearms, ammunitions, even pellet guns, BB guns. So we'd like you to leave them in your trunk with the safety on if it has one, naturally not loaded, and maybe ammo on the other side of the trunk and the firearm on another side, maybe in a case or a bag. And you'll just pull up in your car and you'll stay in your vehicle the whole time. And one of the officers will assist in opening your trunk, taking the weapon out, and then giving you your gift card later on down the line. So it's going to be a system that we have in place. We're not asking for any IDs. We're not asking any questions. We're not concerned where you receive these firearms, whether they're legal, illegal. We're not asking any questions at all. All we want to do is just try to take out as many weapons off the street as we can to make our community safer and disposing of wanted guns. We understand that we're trying to reduce the risk of suicide, accidental discharge, and domestic violence issues. Anything else to add, Deb, that I missed?
Yeah, I think what I would really just want to emphasize is that, so AB Cares, as Mike said, is a community coalition. We have people from the schools, from the town, from other organizations that treat people across the lifespan. And I think we've all been doing for the past couple of years, we've been doing QPR training, which is question, persuade, and refer, which is a suicide prevention program. And so I think that the purpose of this is really to emphasize the fact that, you know, gun ownership is fine. This isn't a political statement, but there are over 38,000 deaths by firearms a year. And I believe actually it was just recently that Dr. Fauci said that, you know, it's not about politics, it's a public health issue. And so if we can do anything to help reduce the amount of suicides that happen in our area, and we've certainly experienced many people in this area, that's sort of how we came to be. There were several folks who had died from suicide, and that's how the AB Cares Coalition was formed. So I think my point is that, you know, if we can do anything to help prevent suicide, that's our mission and that's our goal, and that it's really a public health issue, and we're not making a political statement. And that's why we're so thrilled that we have the support of the Acton Police Department, the Boxborough Police Department, the Middlesex Sheriff's Office, and then we have many other sponsors of local organizations that are helping us with this. And, you know, we've gotten a really great amount of support from the local clergy, and so from the faith community. So we're excited, and hopefully it will be a success. They've done this in many other communities, you know, a lot of communities like Acton, and we have no idea what to expect, but we look forward to it.
Sounds like a really important program. Thanks for collaborating to bring that forward. So if folks at home had a question about this event, who would they reach out to?
They can contact, so we are putting flyers out and about, but if you have questions, you could always call the Acton Boxborough United Way. They can field any questions. And I believe that on the flyer that we have, there's a website or an email address that people can look at. I don't know if we can put that up there, but where you can email to AB Cares regarding this program. But the ABUW is also is part of our coalition, is also helping us fiscally. And so they're a resource and easy to get in touch with for questions.
Thank you very much. And thanks for doing this program, both of you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So our next guest this morning will be Paula Walsh. Paula is a member of the Acton Women's Club. And there's a big event coming up tomorrow. What is it, Paula? How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having us. Yeah, we're going to be having a bake sale this weekend. I would like to tell you a little bit about the Acton Women's Club. We are a nonprofit charitable social club, and we have been in existence for over a century. The current clubhouse is located at 504 Main Street near the Town Common, and it was purchased in 1922. At the time that it was purchased, it was very dilapidated. It had been built in 1829, and over the years had been used as a private home, a tenement house, and later as a chapel. And it has been rumored that at one point it was actually part of the Underground Railroad. The Acton Women's Club bought it, renovated the property, and it is now the oldest and last standing brick-ended structure in town, and has since been added to the National Historic Registry. The house is known for its period charm. I am sitting in the dining room, and behind me you can see the living room. And renting of the house has been very popular in the past for holding showers and a variety of parties, including a small wedding. The house is handicapped accessible, including a chairlift to the second floor function hall. And most people will know us best because of our very popular dance classes. For over 70 years, the local youth from grades 5 through 10 have come to the club each fall to learn the basics of ballroom dancing. And through the decades, the club has also contributed to a multitude of philanthropic activities. For example, during World War II, the club furnished lunches to the children whose mothers worked on the home front. We had Acton's own Rosie the Riveters that we help support. Today, we do host a number of fundraisers to support the club's philanthropic activities, including donations to local nonprofits and high school scholarships. And many people do know us because of our fall pie sale. But as John has mentioned, we're also offering a spring bake sale this year. And that is being held tomorrow, May 1st, here at the clubhouse. The mission of the club, in addition to maintaining and preserving this historic building for the town of Acton and the benevolent and civic activities of the membership also promotes friendships. And the club has had a variety of interest groups such as book club, bridge, and the antiques and museum group, wine and dine group. And normally the club will hold 7 regular meetings, monthly meetings, and those will usually include a luncheon and a business meeting and some sort of special programming. Over the years, we've had authors, we've had chefs, actor portraying historical figures, historians, musical groups, and dancers. And like most organizations, we were hit with COVID. It certainly impacted our typical way of getting together. But despite the challenges, many of our groups and our monthly meetings have actually adapted to Zoom. And we even managed to complete a kitchen renovation in early 2020, just before everything shut down. So we are really looking forward to resuming our normal activities and operations as things reopen in 2020, as Heather has just given us some hope. And but we do hope that folks will come by and join us for tomorrow's bake sale. I do have a couple of pictures and show the house that many people have probably driven by and just never knew quite what it was. This is our function room upstairs in our socially distant board meeting last year. And please join us for our bake sale.
Great. What are you baking for tomorrow?
I'm doing lemon bars.
Oh, that sounds nice. Great. Well, I hope it's successful, and thank you for joining the program.
Thank you for having us.
And thanks to all the guests this morning, and hope you all have a very nice weekend. Take care.